Now, according to the latest note from Morgan Stanley strategist Byrd, we are likely about 49 gigawatts or so of power short to make all these AI dreams happen. Now, gigawatts can be confusing. Very, very, very roughly, 1 gigawatt is about 750,000 American homes worth of power. So we're kind of talking about 40 million homes equivalent worth of electricity. That would be enough to basically power 3 times all the homes in Texas. So how do we hit that supply, and what companies may ultimately benefit? Byrd joining us now. He is a must-read. You've made me sound like I actually know what I'm talking about, Stephen, so I appreciate you and your entire team. Did we lay it out okay? I mean, how much power are we really talking about being short right now?
Yeah, it is a huge amount. It is hard to think about gigawatts, but you have the math exactly right. What I'm encouraged about is in that issue, new opportunities are coming to the fore. So, for example, some really creative ways to provide that power much more quickly than the traditional grid approach. So, for example, natural gas turbines, fuel cells would be a big part of the solution, siting at nuclear power plants, and then recently Bitcoin conversions, where you take all that power that these Bitcoin sites use and repurpose those as hosting HPC data centers. The economic arbitrage, it's really exciting on everything I just mentioned. And the value to the AI community to providing power more quickly is quite massive when you put on the lens of a power person.
Yeah.
The numbers we're talking about in terms of that arbitrage it's really quite exciting.
It's what we just talked about with Cypher, right? I don't know if you were able to hear that interview. And I'm just so angry with myself because I talk about energy for a living in part. Stephen, 10 years ago, I wasn't smart enough to say, I'm going to go buy a really old power plant, because everybody would have said, well, you can take it. Nobody wants that power plant. Exactly. It's old. We're going to phase it out. These people bought these power plants for Bitcoin mining, largely. Bitcoin mining takes a huge amount of power, but it's a pimple on the back of AI. And so now they're sitting on these power sources where it's like suddenly you had something nobody wanted, and now 10 years, everybody wants it, right? And you can sort of kind of name your own price.
That's exactly right. I mean, frankly, no one saw this coming, but we started to write about this last April of 2024. We described how these Bitcoin companies could repurpose their sites as data center hosts. And at the time, none of these deals had occurred. At that time, those stocks are trading at a metric that no one in Bitcoin land cared about at the time. They really should care about, which is the enterprise value divided by the watts of power they had. At the time, most of those stocks traded between 50 cents a watt and $2 a watt. And now the companies in that world of Bitcoin that have converted tend to trade at $7, $8, $9 a watt. What I'm really excited about is there are several Bitcoin companies that have not yet converted, but are signaling very clearly that they're in discussions to convert, and they trade between, call it $1 and $3 a watt. And I just see so much opportunity here because, absolutely, yeah, the one that is the cheapest would be HUT, HUT 8, ticker HUT. Yep.
This is the number. By the way, I have these Power City indexes where I track city returns, whatever. Number one stock in Miami is HUT 8.
Yep. For good reason. It has such great opportunity. The company's been very good at acquiring additional power. They have a lot of power expertise within the company, a lot of data center expertise, and they're clearly engaged in discussions to try to convert. The very smart management team, they get it. Riot is another one that trades between $3 and $4. Riot signaled they're very much not just engaged, but they're really laying the foundation now to convert their sites. And they have 2 of the best sites in the United States for conversion. So there are a handful that are essentially going to catch up to the companies that have converted. And the arbitrage really is quite exciting.